very soon.
Documents were released Thursday, giving better insight into what happened Monday night in New York City.
His intentions were to come here to harm male blacks. And, we're very fortunate that it stopped at one and it wasn't more.
According to the documents, 28-year-old James Jackson of Hamden drove to New York City several days before the attack with the purpose of Caughman and had stalked numerous potential victims. Then on Monday night, police say Jackson's 66-year-old Timothy Caughman, with a 2-foot-long sword several times, then stashed the knife in a trash can. Caughman died. Jackson turned himself into police Wednesday. Prosecutors say Jackson told detectives killing was practice prior to going to Times Square to additional black men and was angered by black men mixing with white women.
He had said that I'm the person that you're looking for, and that he had knives in his pocket.
Jackson grew up in Towson. His family is still there, but did not comment on the charges. A neighbor says Jackson used to mow lawns in the neighborhood before going into the Army. He served as a military intelligence analyst for 3 years and was deployed to Afghanistan. Jackson is charged with second-degree as a crime.
Detectives from the NYPD down in Maryland speaking to his family, associates, and anybody that he could be linked to.
When Caughman was attacked, he was said to be just collecting bottles on the streets of NYC. Caughman also showed a love for taking selfies with celebrities on his Twitter page. As for Jackson, the prosecutor said today that the second-degree charge could be upgraded. Reporting live from Hamden tonight, Lacey Griffith, WBAS.
All right. Peace and blessings, ladies and gentlemen. All praises to the Most High. This story came across my emails about the then 28-year-old ex-military veteran who proclaimed himself as a white supremacist, James Jackson, who drove from Baltimore to Manhattan with the intentions of unaliving not just the man that he did, but several black men. And through his manifesto, he said that he hoped that this act would ignite a race war. Now, his act happened in 2017, in which the life of 66-year-old Timothy Caughman was taken in a brutal attack, which you heard about on the news channel. Now, this man was out collecting bottles on the streets of New York when he became the victim of the insane hatred once again. And you can actually, in this picture, you can actually clearly see the hatred and the evil in his eyes, in his facial structure, the way his mouth is held tight, clenched with hatred. Now, once again, this happened in 2017, and he was tried in 2019 on several charges. Now, unlike other incidents, i.e. Daniel Penny, he did plead guilty. And as a result, he was given a life sentence. Now, during his testimony and interview with the police, he said that he wanted to unalive a lot of black men, not just this guy. And only a day after what he did, he turned himself in to the police. And the reason that he said he wanted to do it in Manhattan, because Manhattan is considered a global media capital. And he wanted the coverage to garner worldwide support and inspire white men to unalive black men and to scare black men. Now this incident really shows his cowardice, because he had been in New York for a few days, and he said he was stalking another person, but he lost his nerve because he originally, now listen to this, he originally wanted to unalive a young thug or a successful older black man with blondes. These black men who put white girls on the wrong path. Now, he messed around and lost his nerve to attack a young thug who might have put them things on him, or an older man who probably can handle himself. And then he pounced on the elderly 66-year-old man who, after the attack, staggered into the police station. Now, what about this? His reasoning, his intention seems familiar. That's right. The fear of black men with white women. Now, we all know the history of many of the lynchings and many of the riots of the past. Many of them were started by someone claiming that a black man had made a pass at a white woman, touched a white woman, looked the white woman in the eye, or had a consensual sexual relationship with the white woman. So that is the basis, I think, of many of these fears. The hatred toward black men is that age-old fear that, you know, black men would be in relationships with white women now, which we see a lot of today. And he said that, you know, he felt that he was too late to prevent white women from pursuing interracial relationships. That's why he submitted to the authorities. Now, for his defense, and you know where they're going with it, his legal team said that he suffered from mental illness and race had nothing to do with it. After the man clearly wrote a whole manifesto that was written in court, they again claimed that race had nothing to do with it. Now, also, they tried to get the man off on a technicality, saying that the defense team was not notified of an interview that the New York police had with their client. And they tried to say it was an improper interview. And also, he mentioned that the officers who interviewed him were not assigned to his case, but they worked in the intelligence division. What does that have to do with anything? Right? And the prosecutor almost bit. He said, well, we're not going to tolerate any of these actions, right? But nevertheless, Jackson ended up pleading guilty to the charges of unaliving in the second degree as a act of criminal terrorism, and also unaliving in the second degree as a hate crime, and criminal possession of a weapon in the fourth degree. And so this man was sentenced, rightfully so, to life in prison. Now, they did offer up an appeal, which, from my understanding, or to my knowledge, has not been successful. Now, again, they kind of want to give him an out. This, this article, it says that, he had, writings He had, memorabilia with a swastika, and he championed the extermination of the Negro races. And once again, he thought that his act would be that which starts a racial world war. Now, his defense claims once again that his time in the Army from 2009 to 2012, he was deployed in Afghanistan and earned several medals. And he worked for, get this, military intelligence. And this is what they say. Well, he was not a racist. He just snapped after returning back from Afghanistan. He just couldn't find his way in the world after that, right? And then, he kind of gave the family an apology, saying that, he wished that this would have never happened. But it did happen. And so this guy's actions were deliberate, due to his deliberate scheme, his very premeditated scheme to plot and plan and, to get their days ahead and stalk people with the intentions of taking their lives. So the fact that, his defense team tried to justify this as a mental health problem of sorts is also an insult. Now, also, we have to realize that the fact that this man worked in military intelligence. So we have this type of man with this type of ideology in military intelligence. So you take with that what you will. But this is once again an example of latent hate, individual hate in certain individuals in certain positions that could affect the lives of others. Now, I can imagine what he was doing over there in Afghanistan to those people, but for that, he received medals. So imagine once again, this happened in 2017. It's 2025, and we still seeing people with those same actions. I guess they are being emboldened, empowered, influenced, motivated, by the current climate, with the current president, people feel. However, once again, I always like to iterate that these things have been happening for a while. 2017, 2012, James Byrd in 1999, and we can go on and on and on and on and on and on and on down the line. So I hate to, specifically say that, Trump is the reason why these things are happening, when this attitude has been happening for quite some time. And I always ask the question, why are we so hated? And I really want, a white person, if you're viewing, no hate, I really want to just know, why do white people hate black people so much? I know, who we are as a people. Many people feel that we are God's chosen people of the Bible, people of Israel. However, I really want, that point of view from, a white person. So you see my number up there. I would love to have the conversation, 919-587-7782. What is it about us that makes us so the target of so much, racial hate and division? Nevertheless, you see the number, 919-587-7782. Peace and blessings.
Local stories to Wayne County news. Get ready to dive into everything happening in North Carolina with Taylor House Publishing. Got a story to share? Shoot us an email at taylorpublishinghouse@gmail.com. If you're looking to publish your book or need some top-notch mentorship, we've got your back. Join the excitement with the one and only Richard Taylor, right here at Taylor House Publishing, Speak with Richard directly at 919-587-7782. Don't forget to smash that like button, hit subscribe, and invite your family and friends to watch.
From Wayne County to the Carolina coast, tell our house, bring the news you love most. Tune in on YouTube, don't miss a beat. Local stories that keep you on your feet.
Tell our house we got the scoop.